Okay. What God wants me to talk about, Lord, Holy Spirit, please anoint this. Anoint this. All of you, none of me. He wants me to talk about thrones, the throne of glory, and the mercy seat. And how this has to do with standing for your marriage. So let's just start off with, I'm looking at my notes, a lot of notes. Oh, my cat just kind of windy. A lot of notes, as you can see, on this topic. I'm gonna go through all of them, but if your husband has all of a sudden turned on you, excuse me, from like day and night, you just don't know who this man is anymore. It's not the man that you loved or loved you. It's kind of hard to explain, but once you understand it, then you'll understand. It makes sense. So a throne. A throne is a high seat, a high chair, like a king's throne it's a high seat. Like only the king sits in the king's throne. Usually the queen has her own chair next to the king, but excuse me, what I'm trying to get into is that wherever there is a throne, there is a higher rank behind that throne. Better yet, it's a principality. That's what a principality is. Principality is, all it is the throne. It's like a higher authority in rank, which means that it has like an army or a band, a group, a confederacy, a group, a house, a coven, whatever you want to call it, underneath it that takes orders, that it can give orders to, that are under its authority. Okay, that's what a principality is. A principality sits on a throne. It has a higher rank, which means it has demons or people that are demonized underneath its authority, that it gives out orders to. Now, a principality, since it has a throne, it's going to also have a crown. And on its crown, it'll have like you see Starbucks right here. See Starbucks right here. That's its crown on its head right here. So yes, this Starbucks thing is a principality, right? The point is not that I'm drinking Starbucks. The point is this. This is the crown. let's pretend the star is not there, and that's just another peak. I'm gonna draw them over so you can see. See? I drew it over with pen. Hopefully you see it. So forget that the star is there. However many of these mountains, hills, peaks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, are on the crown, that's how many are under its rank. So when you see its crown, you want to count its little horns or whatever it's called. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? That means there's 5. It could be 5 queens. It could be 5 princes, male, right? Whatever. But it's 5 of them. It could be 5 kingdoms, 5. But that's how many are under its rule. The peaks on its crown, of the principality of the throne that it sits on. Right? The principality also has a covering, not so much like this hood, but more like a canopy or a gazebo type thing. We could even go as far as say like an umbrella, right? It has a covering. It's a covered thing. There's stairs that lead to it, right? Or a stool. You have to step up to that, however many stairs there are, you have to step up to the seat. Okay? That's just a throne in general. Now, there is such a thing called a throne of glory, right? And by the throne of glory, the number from the Hebrew Strongs that comes up with this is 3519. And it comes from 3513, which is the word weight in a good sense, right? Speaking about the throne of glory only, not other principalities. In a good sense, splendor, glorious, honorable, gloriously. Weight. Okay? That's the throne of glory. We also have the mercy seat. The mercy seat we see in Exodus, in Leviticus, and Numbers, and in Chronicles. The mercy seat is a throne. You cannot... All these... So the reason your husband has turned on you, and it's like day and night, and you don't understand who he is anymore. You're like, who is this man that is here? Because it might not even look like him anymore. It might look a little different. You might even be like, I know he looked different. And you're not wrong. Right? He might, I'm not saying he shape-shifted. I'm just saying he might look, your discernment might show you that he looks a little different. Bravo. Okay, and you're not wrong. The reason being is evil kings. Now, evil kings don't have a body. We're talking about like Pharaoh, the king of Assyria, the Moabite king. There's all these kings. There's a lot of kings mentioned in the book of Numbers, in the book of 1 and 2 Kings, the book of Jeremiah. All throughout the Bible, there's kings mentioned, right? And these, I'm talking about the old kings. Specifically in Revelations 13:18, when it talks about the beast with 7 heads and 10 horns, right? Now you might not know that, but if your husband was a victim of satanic ritual abuse when he was little, if he ever opened up to you and told you about the horrible things that happened to him, he might not have told you everything, but he might have told you enough for you to now receive this information, piece it together, and understand what's really going on, right? He might not even remember all the abuse or exactly what happened to him, because when you're satanically ritually abused, your brain, it splits off. It creates alternate personalities to preserve itself. It's just a mechanism that God gave us, and it's absolutely wonderful if you really think about it. But because of that, sometimes the memory is not there. And so some things can be remembered, some things can't, because another alternate personality comes in. So if your husband has like multiple names, nicknames, if you know that he could change into personalities, if it's so bad that you can time them or name them, then we know what that I'm talking about is correct, right? It might not be that serious. It might be that serious. I think for the most part, though, the wives that I'm speaking to, it's serious enough to where you know your husband has like Jekyll and Hyde. Your husband has multiple personalities. Bad. That's because there was a system. It's called the system of the beast, and it's all part of the satanic ritual abuse. They wanted to make him into the beast. They probably put all those systems or kings and kingdoms in place when they programmed him. You gotta be very open-minded here. There's a lot of information. It's hard to explain. You're gonna have to do research on your own for it to click. But the gist of it is, that's what's going on. There's different personalities that were made when his soul was fractured, split off through the satanic abuse. His parents are most likely part of it. His mom and dad are most likely part of it. Most likely that's how they got their money. And most likely you were supposed to be a satanic queen to this king, satanic king, or the system of the beast. But this king husband of yours was interfered by you, but first he had to exorcise the demons out of you, and in doing that he prepared a house for the Lord, right? And so in helping you, he prepared a house for the Lord. Now when the program's set in, because they do contracts, sometimes the contracts are for 3.5 years, which is why you could be like, oh well, the first 3.5 years were fine, and all of a sudden, usually that's because that's how long the contract was. And what they have to do is they have to get him either to the doctor, to jail, somewhere away from you where they could take his blood and make him sign things, right? Once they do that and he starts acting weird, you know that they either made him enter into a covenant, a contract. The police have everything to do with it. The healthcare system, everywhere, nowhere's safe, right? But once that happens, that's what happens, right? Some sort of contract was put in place, and yeah. Sorry, I'm just looking at myself. I look just like my husband. Yeah. I miss him, but yeah. So that's what happened. Those alternate personalities sometimes are kings, and I'm pretty sure that the women that this message is for is like, there's no denying that your husband has multiple personalities. There's no denying that you probably know the names. Me, I could tell you what time what was gonna come into his body, what time By the way he walked and did his hair or whatever, dressed, I could tell you, okay, he's feeling like with it, because they all had names. You know, I did count 7 of them at a certain time before I knew what was going on. Anyways, these are the thrones that these kings sit on when they come into your husband's body and he starts acting crazy, weird, like someone you don't know. Right? Now, the mercy seat is a seat where you will have to be, you will have to reach that seat to come against the evil kings, or you won't be able to defeat these principalities. You won't do it at all. God will, but with the obedience and you following what God tells you to do, he will help you, right, and tell you what the next step is. These kings are going to fall down from these thrones like Humpty Dumpty did when he sat on the wall and had a great fall, right? I'm trying to think of what else. These are like, this is also a man-made device made by evil, wicked people before your time. Probably, he has a handler, which could be his mother, some person who's been trying to like keep y'all apart because they don't want him deprogrammed. But God said he will deprogram if you are obedient, right? And you reach the mercy seat, which is the seat of forgiveness and mercy. Obedience is better than sacrifice, but above all, really, what really, really pleases God is mercy. To have mercy on people. It's specifically your husband. He's going to feel a lot of shame when he understands what he's done and when he can't explain why he's doing the things that he does. Right? When God works on him. And God will work on him because he built him a house for him to live in, which is you, before the beast system took over. Right? And because he did this service to the Lord, God is not going to forget his son. But it's in how the house that he built for the Lord, how you conduct yourself, how obedient you are, how much mercy you have as a temple of God, and how you glorify the Lord through that. And remind God, hey, your son built this house right here for you to live in. Don't forget about him. It's in that God will come through for his son. He won't forget him. And he'll knock all these evil kings off their thrones. I promise you. I promise you he will. Right here. So yeah. You need to really look into the beast system and satanic ritual abuse and stuff, and depending on the area we're in. I'm in the Bay Area, but I'll go over that later.